Mzansi, buckle up. From the union buildings to your backyard, here's the story everyone's talking about. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into the heartbeat of our nation. We're looking at the innovations and individuals.
Applying or not attending, there are less intrusive means available, and that a criminal recommendation in the circumstances is the most extreme option available, and that the Commission can still, and if the Commission does that, and I hope I'm using Commission in the right sense now, Commissioner Khumalo, if the Commission does that, it almost brings that line of inquiry to an end because it passes it over to a different functionary. But that if the Commission and the evidence leaders was interested in continuing this line of inquiry to establish what is or is not the case, then less intrusive means are available. So at a broad level, those would be the tenor of our submission, subject to specifics, but I appreciate the Chair's affording me an opportunity to highlight that all the same.
Two related issues. One, is laying a charge a recommendation in the sense in which you've referred to? And two, is laying a criminal charge something that would implicate the Audi rights at all? This is just laying a criminal charge. And ordinarily, the Audi rights would be implicated in a situation, or would arise in a situation where a decision is taken. I know you'll say, well, laying a criminal charge is preceded by a decision to lay the criminal charge. I'm happy that you are shaking your head and that you are not going to say that. I'm happy to hear that. So, one is laying a criminal charge a recommendation in the sense in which you use that word, and two is laying a charge, or does laying a charge implicate Audi rights at all?
Why I shake my head is because I think it depends on the underlying conduct. So if there's a recommendation for the preferment of charges, so in other words, you, Chair, in your capacity as Chair, write to the SAPS, whoever the relevant police station would be, and say, we recommend that you open a case for an offence of the Commissions Act, then I would say that is where the territory is of Audi, because of the recommendation.
I don't see why the letter would say a recommendation is being made. Someone would just go to a charge office or write to the police and say, a charge of ABCD is being laid. So that's laying a charge. It's not recommending the charge.
Yes.
And then it's for SAPS to investigate or look at the information given and then saying, because of the authorities that Mr. Premhid referred to, there is no case whatsoever here, and therefore they refuse they do not even take that docket to the NPA.
No, that's why I'm saying it depends on the underlying conduct. If you are the complainant going to the, and I say you, I mean obviously ex officio in your capacity as the Chair, or the Secretary perhaps, because I understand that the Secretary is the hand through which a lot of the operations of the Commission unfold. So I'm going to refer to the Secretary. If the Secretary is herself, in her ex officio capacity, the complainant at the police station, then that's why I was saying it depends on the form of the conduct. Then I don't think I could have an Audi objection, because that's as good as, and now I'm going to abuse Ms. Matlingwane's name next to me, that's as good as if I went to the police station and laid a charge against Ms. Matlingwane for intimidation, which is probably coming very soon. She's a very good junior. But I don't owe her a right of Audi. I accept that. That's why I was saying, however, if the Secretary is going to write to the SAPS to say, I am recommending that you SAPS charge Ms. Matlingwane with intimidation, and that flows from an ex officio capacity.
Let me right away say, if what I said the Commission is minded to do does eventuate it will not take the form of a recommendation.
But
the commission will just lay a charge.
Yes,
so I think we should just step off this idea of a recommendation.
No, correct.
And let's move on.
Yes, because that
will not eventuate.
Yes, because that also takes me to my original point, which was to say this might not even be the hill for me to die on, because it might be appropriate that any such Audi right is not given effect to in front of you per se, but then in front of either the SAPS or the DPP or whomever, as you ordinarily have the right to make representations to the DPP before any such case commences. So I don't think we are disagreeing with each other. I was only responding to the question Chair posited to me, which was what's the difference and what are the consequences between a recommendation per se and the laying of a charge, and I was trying to engage
how the Audi rights get implicated.
Yes. But because Chair has now said to me that if it is to eventuate, it's not going to take the form of a recommendation, the Audi issue is irrelevant with all due respect, because I think we've come to a consensus that if there's an Audi in the context of the laying of the charge, that must happen elsewhere, not in front of you.
But I'm sure we are agreed that you've made all your submissions.
Yes, absolutely.
So in that fact, you don't say, but Chair, you said, are Audi rights implicated at all? And that is you.
No.
And I said, not if it's not a recommendation.
Correct.
You made your submissions on the Audi points and whatever other rights in this regard, and you even came to the point that we are done with our submissions.
In fact,
I just want to make sure
in fact, Chair, you've been so generous to me. Before any decision to recommend or lay a charge has been made, you've invited me to make those submissions in the first place. So I am very, and I did, and I'm very indebted to you for that opportunity, and indeed to respond to what my learned friend said, considering that I was very short in opening, and I'm indebted for that. In fact, we've taken far more time than I would have hoped for, and I apologize for that if that's my doing. So, but I'm indebted to you, Chair. May I just take an instruction?
And Commissioner Baloyi has a question.
Oh, I apologize.
Yes. No problem.
Thank you. Mr. Premier, is it not simply this? We are sitting here where Mr. Karim has not appeared, contrary to a ruling that he must appear today. And that ruling had behind it that he would be excused if we get an independent medical report that says he's not good to testify. We're sitting in a place where we don't have that medical report, and therefore there's no basis for us to say he is properly excused not to be here. Aren't we sitting with there is no satisfactory explanation, therefore, for his non-appearance? And then, because our rules do deal with such matters, if a witness is required to appear and they do not provide a satisfactory explanation, certain consequences would follow. Isn't it simply that we're sitting where we do not have a satisfactory explanation because of the issues that you have been ventilating with the Chair, but the bottom line of it is that which was prescribed as a basis to excuse him has not been complied with. Therefore, we do not have a satisfactory explanation, and we must deal with it in accordance with our rules. Is it not that simple, really?
Well, I think the danger in characterizing it as being that simple, Commissioner Baloyi, with all due respect, is that then elevates the modality, which is voluntary, but let's leave that to one side, the voluntary of the examination and the excuse to being a prescriptive basis to exclude any otherwise valid excuse. So on your narrow reading, if I understand correctly, Commissioner Baloyi, I can't disagree with you. And the reason I can't disagree with you is because, of course, in terms of what the order specified, non-compliance has arisen. But what I'm saying is I don't know that would be, and I'm choosing my words carefully, I would question the competency of such a directive in circumstances where it's applied prescriptively in that way, and where non-compliance is potentially dealt with punitively, because it's a strict non-compliance with the mechanism in the order, to the ignorance of evidence that relates directly to the operation of that mechanism. So I think what I'm trying to say, Commissioner Baloy, is
the energy is undeniable. It's time to showcase the excellence that defines us. Stay tuned to Mzansi Pulse for more stories that matter to you. Don't forget to like, follow, and join the conversation. Until next time.